subject that is probably not real easy to even bring up, but the whole concept of abortion. I understand your feelings on it, and I want you to know that I and many other people in this room are not pro-abortion. We are pro-choice. And the concept that a legislature would tell women what to do with their bodies, make it prohibitive for them to get one, such as your bill that prohibits coverage, insurance coverage of an elective abortion. I don't understand how you feel. And the personhood bill talk about unintended consequences. Do you realize that that bill would make contraception illegal? Do you realize that it would make in vitro fertilization illegal? So the people who really desperately want a child are not even able to do that because that bill, that law, would make that illegal. And I want to know why you feel like it's important enough to prohibit insurance coverage of elective abortions to raise your own bill on that. Because who would carry a rider to pay for their abortions? Please.
Well, if you did not, well, I won't even go there. Let me suggest this. Let me suggest that you and I sit down and discuss this.
No, I'd really like for you to answer.
Please answer.
We'd
like to hear your answer.
I want to hear you say something.
I want to hear it too.
Again, I have Christian background and beliefs. I believe that the Bible is the Word of God.
As do I.
Okay, and that I believe our Constitution was built on the Word of God. Okay, I believe our Constitution was framed on a biblical foundation, and I believe we had godly men that framed and drafted our legislation. Our Constitution, and therefore the Bible states that God knew you before He placed you in your mother's womb. Okay, and under the old law, if you injured a woman that was pregnant with child, and you killed the child inside the mother, that which I believe is a moral and spiritual deed, then your life was taken also. Proves to me that God, and other scriptures that I could bring up that's not coming to memory now, that proves to me, beyond a shadow of doubt, that the life inside of a mother is regarded as a life in God's eyes. Okay? And you talk about women's choice. If you go to a hypothetical scenario, if you go to a clinic, abortion clinic, and you say, I'm pregnant, I've got this life growing inside of me, and I want you to take this life. Okay? I want you to do away with this life inside of me. Okay? Can you then say, by the way, while you're at it, would you go ahead and take my life too? You got woman's choice. Can you say that? No, you can't. Because our laws are set in place to protect you, even from yourself. And the Bible encourages us to stand up for those who can't speak for themselves. And I think it is murder.
So what would you do with those children that are born, and we don't have the money, obviously, in this state or this country to take care of those children?
Does that really justify murdering them?
What about unintended consequences, though? Again, there have been several laws that have come out of the past session that had the unintended consequences, just like the ethics bill. What if things start getting tagged on to these women's health issues that have to do with things like contraception and in vitro? Then what?
Well, if Senator Phil Williams' bill passes that states that life begins at conception, then that will simply become the law of the land.
So contraception will be outlawed in Alabama.
As will in vitro fertilization, because if life begins at conception, you would be unable to engage in vitro fertilization because each and every embryo that is not used for implantation would then count as a person.
That's why I haven't. Well, you're wrong. First of all.
Actually,
no, he's not.
No, he's not. They tried to pass in Mississippi.
Let me explain. I was very involved in this. Okay.
But
allow me to educate.
Let me be real clear. I'm right about the point that I make.
Please educate us.
Which is that in vitro fertilization would be illegal.
No, because first of all, the bill states that life begins at fertilization in the mother's womb. That's what the bill currently states, or as of last year.
That's not the bill.
Contraception does not prevent a fertilized egg, though.
Contraception an egg is fertilized, contraception prevents it from being implanted into the walls of the womb. That means contraception would essentially be illegal in the state of Alabama.
Okay.
Specifically the birth control
I
pill.
have not addressed contraceptives.
If you were female, you would have.
Okay,
Yes.
listen to me if you would. I have not addressed contraceptives, but you guys have. Okay. The amendment that I want to offer to, that I've suggested to Senator Phil Williams, and the problem that you have with his previous bill, and he may have already addressed these, I'm not sure. But previously, it is my understanding that a doctor would fertilize about 10 eggs in a dish, okay? And their fertilization actually began there. And he would take the 3 strongest and plant them into the mother. Is this correct? Okay.
It's
process
pretty
is
hard to
What
get 10
happens to
eggs.
the others?
Okay. The others then is what I believe was a problem with the previous bill. Okay. So what I am proposing an amendment to do is that the in vitro doctor can only fertilize the eggs that he plans to place inside the mother in the in vitro process. Then you don't have an issue of
Why are you arguing
fertilized
about
eggs
this?
outside the mother's womb.
Why is this an issue?
Why is it more important than jobs?
Why is what?
Why is this
Because
why
I
is
don't
it
believe that
more
you can.
important than
I don't believe that
If
you
it's
can get
implanted
money
or
ahead of
not.
morality.
Why are you fighting over this?
I'm not. Who am I fighting?
All of
It's
us.
taken up time in the legislature that could be working on the economy, passing budgets,
Yeah, there's-
strengthening education, and creating jobs.
And there's nothing more.
And you're running
important-
around after birth control.
Nothing more important that we can be addressed in my beliefs is the pro-life issues. And those who elected me in
Well, you know, y'all
2010,
may be in the majority, but as long as there's some people who are pro-choice, what about our rights?
your rights are based on the current law.
And you're trying to change it.
Yep, you are.
Yes,
Now tell
I'm very
me-
passionate
tell me-
about changing it, to be honest with you.
Your abortion law, the bill that you've brought up, rather, prevents elective insurance companies from paying for elective abortions, which essentially puts the insurance companies off the hook and saves them money. What sorts of abortions do you think you're preventing with that?
Puts the baby off the hook as well.
Please answer my question.
Pardon me? What sort of what?
What sort of abortions are you preventing?
Premeditated ones?
Would
It
that
is
be
the ones that the
ones-
bill would allow.
Would that be the ones where?
No, the abortions that I'm preventing is the ones that are made in a hasty decision where a teenager would get pregnant, which is classically the case, and want to rush in making the decision as to whether to abort or not.
But you cut off all.
Pardon me?
Does your bill not
I'm
cut off all?
hoping that Phil Williams' bill passes and that we don't even have to, I don't even have to worry with passing my bill.
So who's going to pay when the
Okay,
lawsuits are filed? Who's going to pay all the
Is
to
there
defend
anyone in
it?
here
The
that's
state?
pro-life?
We're all pro-life, Senator.
We are all
You are
pro-life.
anti-abortion.
Lord, Lord, the world has come to.